In the twilight of creation, when the world was young and fresh as morning dew, a prophecy slithered through the cosmos like a serpent, its venomous words carried on the wind. It spoke of a monstrous wolf, a creature born of shadow and ice, whose rise would herald the twilight of the gods. This was Fenrir, the unholy offspring of Loki, the god of mischief and fire, and Angerboda, the giantess of prophecy. From the moment he drew his first breath, Fenrir was an omen of doom. His cry was a mournful dirge, a harbinger of sorrow and destruction. His eyes, twin pools of icy hatred, held the promise of a world consumed by flame. The gods watched him grow with a mixture of fear and fascination, their hearts heavy with the knowledge that this creature would be their undoing. As the years turned into ages, Fenrir grew into a monstrous behemoth, his form as imposing as a mountain, his strength as boundless as the ocean. His howls were the thunder of 1,000 worlds colliding, and the earth trembled at his footsteps. The gods lived in a state of perpetual dread, their eyes fixed on the growing shadow that was Fenrir. Tyr, the god of war, was the only one with the courage to approach the beast. He did so with a heart heavy with trepidation, for even the bravest of warriors feared the monstrous wolf. Yet Tyr was a god of honor, and he felt a strange kinship with the creature, a recognition of a shared destiny. He brought Fenrir food and water, attempting to forge a bond, a desperate gamble to tame the untamable. The gods, growing increasingly desperate, forged chains to bind the beast. Lading, the first chain, was as thick as an oak and forged in the heart of a volcano. It snapped like a thread before Fenrir's titanic strength. Dromi, the second chain, was crafted from the bones of giants and infused with the magic of the World Tree. It too was broken, its fragments scattered like autumn leaves. The gods were at their wits' end. Their creations, forged in the heart of the cosmos, had proven useless against the monstrous wolf. Desperation gnawed at their hearts, a cold, bitter despair that threatened to consume them. But hope, a flickering ember in the darkness, led them to the dwarves, masters of craft and magic. The dwarves, with their infinite wisdom and skill, forged Gleipnir, a chain unlike any other. It was as thin as a spider's thread, yet stronger than the bonds of the universe. It was woven from the breath of a serpent, the roots of a mountain, the sinews of a bear, the beard of a woman, the footsteps of a cat, and the spittle of a bird. To lure Fenrir into the trap, Tyr offered his hand as a pledge of good faith. The wolf, with a cunning intelligence that belied his monstrous form, hesitated. But the promise of freedom, even if illusory, was too tempting. He allowed the gods to bind him with Gleipnir, and in a moment of blind rage, he bit down on Tyr's hand, severing it at the wrist. A cry of anguish echoed through the halls of Asgard as the gods secured the final link of the chain, binding Fenrir to a colossal rock that would hold him fast until Ragnarok. As the last chain was fastened, a silence fell over the world, a heavy, oppressive silence that held the promise of storms to come. Fenrir, his eyes burning with a hatred as cold as winter, was imprisoned, but his spirit was unbroken. He was a captive, but not a defeated one. He would wait, his monstrous heart filled with a burning desire for vengeance, until the day when the chains would shatter and he would rise, a storm of fury that would consume the world. The gods, having won a temporary victory, lived in the shadow of fear. They knew that their triumph was fleeting, a mere respite before the final battle. Fenrir was not merely a beast, but a symbol of fate, a harbinger of the end. And as they watched the wolf, chained and silent, they understood that their own doom was as inevitable as the rising of the sun.